Well, CM Punk has been one of the guys who we in this channel discuss so much that we want to explore more what ifs. And also in our wrestling topics where we discuss, analyze, and describe. Well, this is a different what if because I know in 2008 CM Punk was actually a star rising from ECW, and now he was drafted to Raw. And for his draft, well, he won the Money in the Bank briefcase. And for this what if, we're gonna change the title that he actually cashes into. And we all know that the World Heavyweight Championship at that time was actually on SmackDown with Edge, and the title was drafted to Raw because of that reason that Punk cashes in. But we're gonna change something. During that time also, we have Triple H as the WWE Champion in real life. But also because this what if is gonna focus on more on the WWE Championship, we're gonna have a lot of series of changes in this what if. So, are you ready for the ride? Well, I am ready for this what if. Also, subscribe for more videos in my channel to see more of my what if series and what if videos that concerns WWE and pro wrestling itself. What if CM Punk cashes in on the WWE Championship in 2008? So CM Punk will cash in after a match of Randy Orton versus Triple H, in which both men are exhausted from a brutal match. That means Punk uses that opportunity and he will go to SmackDown because the WWE Championship actually goes to SmackDown just like in real life. And for Raw, well, we're gonna say that Batista actually won the title against Edge for this timeline, or Edge retains the title and he goes to Raw. For whatever circumstances, we need to draft the champions because at Armageddon, just like in real life, we're gonna also build Jeff Hardy in this timeline. So CM Punk is gonna feud in 2008 with a lot of challengers, with a lot of heel people on Friday Night SmackDown. If Batista was the one who is the world champion that was drafted to Raw, then Punk's challenger will be Edge. CM Punk versus Edge, the leader of La Familia, the one who cost Punk his ECW championship in early 2008 versus the guy who wants to avenge and to get retribution in this timeline. So that will be Punk's first rivalry because JBL is on Raw, and Batista versus JBL will actually feud. So yeah, that happens. Punk retains his title against Edge, and even though Edge tries to have a sneaky tactic, unfortunately for him, the straight edge champion retains because they are gonna put him over. And for this timeline also, we're gonna have a thing for the audience. We will hear the crowd reaction. We will actually acknowledge them if they boo or cheer the champion. And for this time, CM Punk is the WWE Champion. And people may say, is this an overpush for a superstar who actually is 2 years on the main roster? And for that matter, are some of the fans actually booing him because of this overpush? And if that happens, then also in this what if, we have no other choice but to turn him heel and to create a heel character for him. He will have a few months going in as the WWE Champion. And actually he will be a heel on his title run during this time. So as I told you, he's a babyface on his first few months of his title run. And during the time that Edge actually challenged Punk, he is still a babyface. Let's just say from the Bash up to 2 months of rivalry, I think either SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, the feud will actually go to an end where Edge puts over CM Punk, and also some of the fans are also gonna cheer for him for those who watch Ring of Honor. And then yeah, so the fans are at maybe half and half. For that matter, as I told you, we're gonna listen to the crowd reactions of every entrance, every match that CM Punk actually performs in. So after Edge, Big Show will actually stood up to CM Punk. They're gonna have either a 1 or 2 months worth of rivalry, which they will feud. And also during that time, Big Show is actually feuding with The Undertaker, but The Undertaker is actually sending messages through Titantrons because we're gonna have Big Show look as strong as ever, that he actually took out The Undertaker. And for their feud, we're gonna delay that match that The Undertaker actually gets his revenge. Also, take note, the fans are actually chanting for Jeff Hardy, and the WWE has no other choice but to start and to push him to the main card. And during the time that Punk is actually feuding with Big Show, he's actually getting frustrated that the fans are actually chanting for Jeff Hardy, who's not even in the match, who's not even involved in the feud. You know, those fans who actually chant for on another person even though there's a match happening. We're gonna have that on this timeline. So Punk is distracted by his match even though he retains. And actually we're gonna see a lot of tweenerish action by CM Punk. So Punk actually uses a steel chair to retain against the Big Show. So Punk retained his title in a dirty way. Also, as I said, that rivalry actually is a one-off or 1 month worth of rivalry, 1 or 2 months. And I changed my mind. It's gonna be a 1 month of rivalry. And after that match, Punk confronts Jeff Hardy on an episode of SmackDown. He's gonna ask him everything about the fans. Why are they supporting this guy who's actually made a lot of mistakes in his life, who has a lot of addictions, who has a lot of mistakes of previous vices that he does not do on his life because he is a straight edge. I know this feud is kind of rushing Jeff Hardy's rise to the top, and I know also in this time that we actually focus on Punk's title reign, but Jeff Hardy is actually going to win here for him to win the WWE Championship. Also, if people are asking me, Punk's title run is short, but compared to the real life scenario, well, Punk title run is actually much longer in his 2008 run, and he actually lost the title by being involved in that match. So Jeff Hardy actually wins the title. It's actually also a triple threat match between Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, and the Big Show. And even though Punk is actually acting like a tweenerish, going to a heel, and Big Show is the ultimate heel for that match, Punk and Hardy help each other in a lot of moments of that match. They took out the Big Show, and then during the ending, Punk will try to screw Hardy, but Jeff Hardy's experience in that match actually got the win for him. So he got this celebration at Armageddon. Punk will have to try and have a rematch at the Royal Rumble, but unfortunately for him, he's not gonna have to win that match because also it's a triple threat match yet again, with Edge actually being involved in that match. So just like in real life, we're gonna have a lot of title changes for the WWE Championship in a span of a few months. So just like in 2008, 2009, they have a lot of title changes for their World Championships, for the World Heavyweight Championship and for the WWE Championship. And just like also in real life in this timeline, Punk wins his second Money in the Bank. He does not perform in a World Championship match at WrestleMania. Instead, he performed in a World Heavyweight Champ in a Money in the Bank ladder match, which he won the briefcase because he actually beat someone from the qualifiers and he was actually winning that match. So this time Punk is a guaranteed heel. And then so the continuation of the storyline is we will go back to Punk versus Hardy chapter 2, in which Hardy wins the title just like in real life against Edge in Extreme Rules. Punk cashes in and Punk is actually celebrating after his defeat on Jeff Hardy, and then he cuts a promo. He will say that I am straight edge and I am better than you, like the type of stuff that Punk and Hardy was known during their rivalry in 2009. But instead of him having a babyface run in the first few months of his World Heavyweight Championship reign, he is a guaranteed heel from that point on. Also, just like in real life, well, Punk wins all of his matches against Hardy, and he got his revenge for the one who screwed him out for the WWE Championship earlier in his years. So he got the win from the one who actually won the title from him in late 2008 and the one who defeated him in Royal Rumble 2009. So they're gonna have their feud with Hardy actually leaving for the WWE, going to TNA, and just like in real life, Punk actually forms Straight Edge Society. But, there's a huge difference in this what if. During the storyline between Punk and Hardy, the Straight Edge Society debuted much earlier. That means Festus is going to be Luke Gallows much earlier in this timeline, and Joey Mercury will join the Straight Edge Society, and they will have also another member which is from another superstar from the roster for Punk's credit that he needs a lot of members for his Straight Edge Society. So they have at least 4 or 5 members for the men competitors, and we have Serena for the female combatant. And also the Straight Edge Society will win the tag team championships for the one who are actually tag team in the middle card. So that Straight Edge Society is looking strong as for that moment. So the Straight Edge Society will actually battle Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and somehow John Morrison that got involved in their matches on the tag team on Friday Night SmackDown, and then they're gonna screw them up. They're gonna have their rivalries, making it intense. So yeah, the Straight Edge Society also benefits because Punk actually turned much earlier, and they have the exposure of the world champion with their in their side, and also they have the tag team championship on their crew, so that we will have the society strong as ever. Though I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the title on Serena the female member of the Straight Edge Society, because she's gonna act just like in real life a manager type of female competitor. She's gonna be the manager for the tag team and for CM Punk during his matches. They're gonna try and screw Jeff Hardy in their title matches, but Jeff Hardy will prevail one time, just like in real life, because the Straight Edge Society actually got banned from ringside during their Night of Champions match, which Jeff Hardy wins the title. But for the next month in SummerSlam, Punk actually wins the title yet again to end their feud, and the Straight Edge Society actually joins Punk in ringside. But unfortunately for them, they don't see The Undertaker's attack as they got their backs turned. Then the lights go out, and then when The Undertaker actually attacks CM Punk, the Straight Edge Society is actually shocked by that attack. They will try to attack The Undertaker, but he chokeslam Punk and then destroys the whole society. After that, Punk vs. The Undertaker feud will happen with Straight Edge Society at his side, and also Teddy Long will not have a heelish acting here. Instead, he will still be a babyface general manager, no something from Vince McMahon to have his job, whatever their storyline is on 2009. Instead, the society is trying to screw The Undertaker until The Undertaker wins the title at Hell in a Cell to end Punk's reign as the World Heavyweight Champion, and then Punk will actually have that dominance in Royal Rumble 2010. And then, yeah. So what happened in this What If? The Straight Edge Society debuted much earlier. Punk's heel turn actually is more earlier than in real life. Punk actually has a title reign for the WWE Championship, and also Jeff Hardy, who's the one who dethroned Punk for the WWE Championship, is ironically the one CM Punk who defeated for the World Heavyweight Championship. So just like a deja vu, but for the different title. Also, Teddy Long did not have a blackmail storyline, so he is still a babyface manager for this moment. Vince McMahon actually not also being involved that much in SmackDown. Instead, he is just building Drew McIntyre just like in real life, because I think they have this chosen one for Drew McIntyre's gimmick. Also, the Straight Edge Society distracts Hardy during their storyline, tries to screw him out of the championship, and Jeff Hardy wants the title last time, and then he left for TNA, and then Punk defeated him in a steel cage match with the Straight Edge Society also watching, because he told the society that it is leadership by example that he will defeat Jeff Hardy. So the Straight Edge Society is more of a dominant stable because they have the dominant champion, and they also have the tag team championship, which they defend on a lot of pay-per-views. But unfortunately for them, they're gonna lose the title just like CM Punk loses his World Heavyweight Championship to someone from 2009 before the year 2000 starts. So also during this storyline, Punk actually has a lot of reception from the fans, with positive and negative, because some of them actually thinks that he is overpushed by this time, that he actually got pushed much earlier in his career. So yeah, Smarks will think that, but others will think of his indie career from ROH. That's why they still support CM Punk even though he is a heel during this time. Also, WWE acknowledges ROH somehow in Punk's achievements, so that people will have a semi background on CM Punk. And also, during this time, well, Punk looks dominant in his World Heavyweight Championship reign. And he actually lost the WWE Championship to someone in his first cash in, while he lost the title to someone. Because unlike in real life, he didn't defend the World Heavyweight Championship when the time that he actually loses the title. So he has the chance to compete and lose the title to a person who is over to the fans by that point. And the fans actually supports and chants because Jeff Hardy is over in 2008. Also, thank you for watching in this What If. I hope you enjoy. Subscribe for more videos and like this video, share this video and comment down below. Thank you and have a nice day. This is Mike Rato.